Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be looking at Puffin Forest video, which I definitely didn't forget for nearly a year. D&D story. Whoops, guess everyone has to die now. Which I definitely didn't forget, because I said I haven't forgotten, because I definitely didn't forget. I was, savoring it. That's believable, because it's definitely what happened. Yeah, that sounds good. Note to self, cut out the part where I definitely give away the fact that I definitely didn't, because I definitely remembered to watch it. Yeah, make sure to fix it. Moving on, from the thing I definitely didn't edit, there's a link below if you haven't watched already. Make sure to check it out because it's Puffin Forest. You know it's good. And if I've missed any, which I haven't, unless they're new, which I haven't missed, let me know, which you won't because there aren't any. Yes, glad we had this talk. Link below, original video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started. Because I'm not just trying to move on to the next edit because I definitely didn't say anything I'd regret. I'd need to edit.
I'd started playing Dungeons & Dragons and Adventures League at my local game store for a few sessions.
Oh, he done that one. Oh, old video.
Kind of leaning towards maybe wanting to be a GM. So I talked to the coordinator like...
Wait. Maybe being a GM. Oh, this is an old story he's telling now. Because, again, newer animation, so it's one of the newer ones. But still, I mean, a lot of the videos have Puffin either as a very advanced player or a ton of him as the GM in organized events or other crazy-ass bullshittery. If this is his first foray into GMing, oh, wow. I'm actually kind of surprised he can remember that well. Because, like, your first... You know, I was going to say, what's it like to record a video about your first time? Apparently, like this. It would be like this. And then I just made it creepy by pointing it out that way. I just... You know what? There's a line. I'm just going to dig that hole every bit deeper every time I cross it to say anything about that. I'm just going to move on. Yeah.
Hey, you know, like if you guys got a spot open or something, I think I might want to be a GM sometime.
Oh, great. Actually, we're low on GMs right now. We got a tier 2 table ready that doesn't have
Tier
someone
2?
running it. And man, we were planning on kicking them all out if someone didn't volunteer. You have the Fane of the Night Serpent prepared?
Okay, I know the joke here is that, oh, they're just dogpiling him. Yeah, this face is justifiable, but more importantly, the entire, well, I mean, we don't have a GM, so we can't really do anything, so you just have to leave. I mean, it sounds horrible, but also at the same time, I mean, you can't play Dungeons & Dragons sometimes without a GM sometimes. I guess in like an organized event like this in Dungeons & Dragons Adventure League, which I would like to find out if there's one near my house, but apparently there's not because I work during every single time there is. I'm not salty at all. So, yeah. Also, Puffin's living my nightmare right now. Pressure!
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, Night Serpent Thingamajig is the thing.
Is that
which
a
I
module?
totally have right
I don't think
now.
it's 5th.
Great. We'll have
Oh,
your
he
table
started in
up and running
4.5,
5
so...
minutes.
Well...
And so, that's how I started GMing for Adventures League. Okay, you guys just give me some time, because I got to flip through this and make sure I got everything down.
I mean, on the
By
one
the
hand...
way, also, there's a new player at your table. Even though everyone's level 5, she's level 1. I don't have anywhere else to place her, so she's going to be here playing with you.
I'm playing a Wizlord.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, no. No. So they put the newbie GM, who knows what it's like on the player side, with players in tier 2, so that would be like level 5 and up. Okay, that tier level, I get it. Wasn't sure if it was different Adventures League. But also a newbie player who they're not upgrading level on because they used to do it in Dungeons & Dragons where everyone was at different levels based on how they did. Not just, everyone just levels up because it's easier. Oh no. Oh God, this is going to go so horribly. I want to see this.
Yeah. The coordinator is standing behind her and he starts giving me this very serious look over her shoulder going,
She's first level. New player.
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
First level. New player, Ben. First level. New player, Ben.
Okay. He's telling me that because a lot of the
bad.
enemies in the module that I'm running can instantly kill her in one shot. Many
Yeah.
of the attacks can result in instant death, even if she rolls a critical success against them. So I have to be really, really careful with how I handle her character to make sure she doesn't become meat paste against the walls. In the
Basically,
first 5
traps have to
minutes
hit the
into
other guys.
game.
Oh god, there's a lot of
We
blood.
started playing the module, and the plot line I was running them through was stopping Ross Nasi at the Fane of the Night Serpent. The players
Eh?
had to get into the temple and acquire some stolen items. Burrowed deep within the deadly jungle
Oh,
of Chult
Chult,
is a
cool.
wand tea or serpent.
Hey, they put a little yeah. Sorry. Shout out to previous video. Asiago had a great little pet who she then destroyed the campaign with. It was fun.
Folk temple. Fane
Don't know much
of
about
the Night
Chult,
Serpent.
other than, of course,
Run by an insane, deranged cult
Naga?
leader who's heralded as a prophet by his followers and goes
Oh, I
by
thought it
the
was a
name Raz
zombie?
Nasi.
Oh,
His
no,
dark
it's not.
cult kidnaps those who wander too far into the forest and uses them for labor or sacrifices them to their bloodthirsty god. Raz Nasi has the upper half of a man and a lower half of a serpent.
And the man
His
looks
body
worse.
is wrapped with bandages, covering sores and boils from his disease. Recently, he's become even more deranged and cruel since he's looking for a cure for his ailment.
Has he considered polymorph? I mean, honestly, at that point, yeah. It wouldn't actually fix it, but that is painful. Like, literally, I thought it was just really weird art. It's like, no. He's as fucked up as he looks.
Which shows no sign of slowing down.
He must be a
His
Nurgle
dark
worshiper.
lord, Sirak, has promised him a cure.
Oh,
But the cult leader is
Oh,
nothing
really?
more than a pawn for the necromancer's games.
yeah, that makes sense.
At first, when I was
Wait,
running
necromancer.
it, I was
he
really
still alive?
confused. In the module, they're supposed to be getting in through the front gate and somehow going over to get the item that Roz had stolen. But the module didn't really tell me what they had to do. Like, there were no locks on the front gate for them to pick, and the Wanti entered the temple by transforming into snakes, but how are the players supposed to get in?
Polymorph?
One of the players cast
No.
minor illusion on some rocks to turn them into fake coins, and they used that to bribe the front guard and get in. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll go with that. A fight breaks
That
out once
worked?
they get inside. One of the servants see a player decapitate an enemy, and they start screaming, and then I have to retcon it saying, actually, she doesn't start screaming. On second thought, the room next door has a pool of blood from the dozens and dozens of slaves that were sacrificed, so she's seen crazier stuff around here. The
Yeah.
hallways fill with the temple defenders to battle with them, and the fight immediately went south and just kept going
Like,
south
the
even farther
first
from
level
there.
player died?
The players get overwhelmed very quickly.
Oh.
There were several rooms filled with enemies, and they ended up triggering multiple fights. It didn't look that bad at first.
Okay, so, my knowledge of D&D is based on literally just one campaign and technically a one-shot in Strahd, which we all died on, so it doesn't count. I'm going to stick to that. But just look at this map. If this is even slightly accurate, yeah, that's about 5 rooms and however many are like on the farther side. And I'm just sitting here going like, one big enemy might kill you. A dozen enemies at roughly your level, maybe a little lower, that have ranged attacks will kill everyone. Why freaking Strigs. Rats with sharp, pointy vampire teeth are some of the most annoying enemies because they're not going to hurt you up until they do. I'm not salty. No, not at all. Yeah. This looks bad. How is the level 1 player still alive?
That bad?
That's what I'm wondering.
At first, until one player went down.
And then
next,
the second.
And
then
the
the third.
next. And then 2 of the players look into a pool, and it gives them an insanity, and they both get blinded for 3 days. One of the players wanted to get out of
The
danger,
fuck?
so he teleports into this mysterious room, which he thought was a storage area. Instead, it turned out to be one of the head priest's quarters.
Oh no.
With her 2 bodyguards and her pet air elemental. And then she cast a spell on him, paralyzing him, and had her bodyguard stab him through the chest.
Well,
Once the players start seeing that they're
yep.
losing the fight, in a brilliant move, one of the players says, "Let's split the party."
what?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No,
One group
you-
fled through one door and the other
I'm a noob. You don't split the party. Why don't? These were not the new players. The new player didn't say this. Also, they haven't been shown dying yet. Huh.
group fled through the other door, and they both barred the doors, trapping the enemies inside.
Also, my
They
party
used the
splits
time
off.
to heal up and rout the
idiots.
enemies away from each other. After that was over, the players finally managed to limp out of there. I'm like, wow,
Forget anyone?
that was crazy dangerous. What I figured out was that I had accidentally skipped over a section. At the beginning of the chapter is a bit of fluff and extra details. My eyes had passed over it because I was rushed and jumped right into the next part, which was the room and the front gate details, and didn't think it was relevant. Then I decided to double back and eventually read it. It begins. The Fane of the Night Serpent is a truly difficult adventure, and if the players want to overcome it, they're going to have to be sneaky about it. In order to infiltrate it, the players need to submit themselves as slaves. And they're all totally going to be okay with that. In order to do this, the players have to find the nearest Wanty patrol and say, "Hey, you guys, I hear you're looking for slaves."
You know, I was expecting this to go a lot of different ways. One, I like his little chalk outline. It's a cool little effect. Two, yeah, no, I think considering there was that level 1 player dying horribly to an over-leveled event that they're not supposed to run in like that is still probably better than like, hey, let's be slaves. That just... I can see why this is probably not one of the missions that was dragged into 5th edition, because do I need... I think Puffin Forrest and his first fuck-up probably made it more dealable for someone who's like, you know what? I don't want my first experience in D&D to become me as a slave. That sounds literally horrible. You probably did well by them. I mean,
wow,
may not come back, but
that's
still
really
better.
weird that we should run into each other because we're looking to become slaves ourselves. You know, you guys want slaves? We want to be slaves? Maybe we could work something out here. The players all immediately decide to become slaves, and everyone agrees to this. And they decide to all give up their weapons and armor and magic items, and they decide to start working at the temple for a while and come up with a plan. And this is totally cool with everyone in the party.
It's just getting
Okay,
worse.
well then, let's assume that doesn't work out. Is there a plan B? Yes! They die!
Probably the better option.
Okay, what about a plan C? This is my first group. I would kind of like to not have them hate me.
I'll be completely honest. I know I've already said it, and I'm going to reiterate because it just got worse. Yeah, no. A hard, nearly impossible mission is probably more enjoyable than let's be slaves. I keep saying that. I keep coming back to this concept because it literally blows my mind. No. I mean, literally, just getting someone with really high strength to chuck rocks and dynamite at it sounds more enjoyable. Although that might be more my issue because I just like the idea of throwing rocks at things and dynamite because, boom, it's a character flaw that I fully embrace and I'm fine with. Yeah.
When I found out that I had accidentally derailed the storyline, I did my best to try and get them back on track, until I discovered that one of their allies was now a bloody mess
What?
on the floor, with a spear rammed through her chest.
What?
And that was when they had passed the point of no return. Originally, she was supposed to present an offer to the characters. Since one of the players had trespassed into her room, that was not an option. Now that the players have made fast friends with the head priest and sneakily infiltrated the keep, ding, 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 they should have no problem accessing the throne room. In this adventure, players should take care not to go mindlessly about murdering everything in the area. After that, the players are using these teleporters to move around the temple. So you guys are going to be using these teleporters but don't know where you're going. Okay, everyone give me percentile rolls to see where you end up. What was lucky was that most of the players ended up going to the same area.
Most?
What was unlucky was the one person who didn't.
Oh no.
So we ended up in the throne room.
Oh, this guy again.
Rosnasi is there. You see him talking to some slaves angrily.
That's the last
You might want to just back
time
up a
I'd
bit.
let you get away with that.
He reaches into one of the slaves' chests, pulls out a still beating heart, and tosses the body to the floor. I leave. Hold on. I have to populate the room.
Okay, one. I know this is supposed to be Puffin fucking up, but This actually seems really cool. Like, not to the guy who's about to get deaded again, but just for everyone else sitting there, I was like, oh wow, there's so much danger here. He literally just accidentally got bossed. Oh, this is so cool. I'm a monster. I would be fine with this as long as it's not me. If it was me, I just make sure I have a backup character.
You got one head priest, his 3 bodyguards. I'm leaving some dead servants. There's 12 of them. You got one champion.
Honestly, if he can get out of there, that's
I'm still
pretty good
leaving.
intel.
Let's add a few more. Wait, hold on. I'm running out of figures to populate the room. I'm leaving right now. I know. I
figures
heard
for
you.
all
I'm
of
just
it?
adding some more enemies. The wizard realizes that this room is just filled with all these enemies close together.
Yeah.
So he runs in there and chucks a fireball into the center.
Counterspell.
But as it goes out, Rosnasi flicks his wrist. There's a bright blue glow, and the fireball flits out of existence.
Yeah.
It turns out that Rosnasi is a high-level spellcaster and knows how to counterspell.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do better than that.
Step back into the
Boy.
portal with
So he
info.
backs out of the room and teleports away.
Oh, good move.
After him. Bring me his head.
The players used the teleport to all
scent?
split up.
Oh, his
and Roz's
head.
forces were hot on their heels, going out to
Why
different
did they
sections
split up
of the
again?
complex. And what followed was one of the craziest encounters I've ever had to run.
Oh.
Where the fight was broken up across the entire complex in several rooms. There must have been over 20 people battling in it. For me, it was a tough mega encounter to run with so
I'm actually impressed. Like, I'm not even going to make a joke here. Encounters are difficult as a player to keep track of. And if you're doing the boss, because apparently he just got dragged in, and all the players, and somehow we haven't heard of the level 1 character dying yet. Yeah, no, I'm impressed. And also, this actually sounds fun doing this his way. Like, this fucked up giant mess that should never have happened actually sounds fun, and I kind of want to run it wrong. I want to run it wrong. The actual way you're supposed to run it sounds absolutely horrible, and I could not stand that.
many enemies, and each enemy had multiple types of attacks.
Ooh.
I kept having to flip back and forth through the book going, okay, Zombie 1 makes an attack, misses. Zombie 2 makes an attack, hits. Roll versus paralysis. Okay, flip. Brood Guard 1 makes a bite, miss. Brood Guard 7 makes
Thank
a claw
God
attack.
for mob
Okay, flip.
tactics.
Malison 1 makes a bite, make a con save versus poison. Now, okay, flip. Now the champion decides to. In the hallway, 2 people were fighting the Brood Guards. Another group was barred in the royal chamber, stabbing through a door.
Oh,
Another
smart
2
move.
were up on the balcony, escaping from the undead.
Oh, they're actually playing
While in the
smart.
throne room, the fighter was going to town, mano a mano, with Roz Nasib.
And not dying?
Personally insulted that someone would dare try and confront him.
You worm would dare challenge a god.
The cult leader looked to one of his slaves and said,
Bring me my sword.
Wait, you
and
don't
the slave
have it yet?
came back with this ornate
Steal it!
handle, and Roz unsheathed this sword, which ignited with flames.
Ooh.
Roz Nasib, which you can see on a lot of the game artwork for him,
Oh.
has an enchanted flaming sword.
Ooh, okay. Wow. Puffin made him look sicker and yet also healthier. The head looks more fucked up. Huh. And yeah, you can see the gold. Sorry, just it's really cool seeing the previous art, and it's like he looks healthier, but also kind of sickly around the edge. Or is that just scales? I don't know. He definitely doesn't look nearly as sickly, except for the bandages around his head. Like where this version we use like all the liver spots everywhere, or I guess pustules or open sore. I'm not gonna think about this. He looks way more nurgly here, but this one looks way more badass. But this one looks more like I'm going to get you sick by being near you to infect you with what I already have, and I'm suffering. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
In the duel, the fighter managed to cut off his hand,
Oh.
steal the sword from him, and use it to kill him.
Damn.
After an epic fight and a lot of back and forth, the players managed to defeat the entire temple's defenses, and the whole place was just littered with corpses. My table ended up having to stay later than most everyone else,
That sounds
and we were the
fun.
last group in the game store that night, rolling and battling it out inch by bloody inch.
Wait, they got this done in a single
You know,
night?
oftentimes, if you bash your head against a brick wall enough, eventually, it'll come tumbling down.
Okay, so that was Puffin on his first session, pulling the entire group into a drag-out, beat-out fight where they nearly died multiple times. Everything went wrong. They completely threw out some honestly horrible elements of the story that would be so frustrating. I would probably have quit early on just out of sheer annoyance. Seriously, no. Just no. You know what I'm saying? No about. We're going to leave it there. But he turned it into a really exciting fight with a lot of twists and turns, and a lot of things were going on, and this is just a video of Puffin setting it up to look like he's about to fuck it up. It's his first time GMing, and turns it into something that sounds absolutely brilliant. This is literally the Humblebrag episode. This is like, hey, remember that time I fucked it up so hard that I actually wanted to keep GMing and people came back because I didn't fuck it up? I kept a newbie alive. I managed to tell an entire story better than it was supposed to be. I'm going to stick to that one, and I'm just going to call myself right because that intro, man. This sounds fun. And it should have not worked, but it did. And yeah, Humblebrag achieved, and convincingly. Way to go, Puffin. I kind of want to be DM'd by you, realizing that you're also a very sadistic DM, and I would probably die horribly. Yeah. All the same, if you guys haven't already, link below, original video. If there's any that I definitely haven't missed, but I'm testing to see if anyone has realized that I haven't got to it yet, let me know. Even though I already do. Definitely no, yes. Other than that, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.